Welcome to Infoborders Community Management Introduction videos. In this video, we will be taking a look at the following features: programs, surveys, tasks and master tasks, and the library of documentation. Right now we are at the home page, logged in as the administrator of the portal. We'll begin by taking a look at the programs. Programs are planned set of actions, a holder of planned actions and activities that the organization expects supplier to perform in order to comply with a specific set of goals. Programs can be defined by going into the community and community programs, and by clicking the Create New Program link located on the top right portion of the screen. We'll call this program our first program, and we'll give it some description. With the program created, we are now able to identify which organization and individuals will be associated with this program. We click on the organization, on the program, select organizations, and can add organization one at a time by typing it here. We understand that this is a very time-consuming way of adding organization, and we provide an additional way of more global way to do it. We can navigate to our community, organizations, define some form of filters, or leave with no filters, and then define that add a program to all the organizations that are within this filter. We'll choose program. Now if we go back to the community programs view, we see that 714 organizations has been added. Here they are. We have the ability, if need to, remove any of the organizations that we feel don't fit into here. We also can go back to the people's view and perform the same idea, perform the same task. Again, we have the option to defining different filters, creating new lists, and using those lists as a filter when creating and when adding people to the program. So for this demonstration, we'll use all the people in our list, and we'll click on the Add Program on the left, choose the organization, the program that we want to select, and click OK. Now as we go back to the programs, we see that we have 699 persons added to the list. At this point, we are able to create tasks and reference materials that will be associated with this particular program. Let's take a look first at the surveys as the next step, and we'll see how a program can be used here as well. So we'll go back to the surveys, and surveys are used as a way of questionnaires to identify, to get some information and get some analysis of the trading partner community. We'll begin by creating a survey similarly to the programs. The link is located on the top right portion of the screen. We click on Create New Survey. We'll call this survey EDI Capabilities, and we'll associate it now with the new program that we have created. We'll give it some description. We'll make this survey very simple. By clicking Save, we are brought into the details of the survey. We see right now that we have several tabs: questions, personal assignments, and results. And because this is a new survey, we'll have to add the questions to it. We'll show you how this is done, can be done easily. We'll create a couple of questions to show you the functionality. I'll call it create a new questions. I will call it are you new to EDI? This is going to be, in our case, of drop down, and the possible value is yes and no. We can define a default value if we choose to, and we'll save. Or add another question. We'll call this question what van are you planning to use? And we'll make this a single line, allowing the users to enter any information they choose to. But we at the same time will provide some default values so they can change if they need to. We'll call it HP MFT. I'll click save. Finally, we'll add in one more question. What X12 version would you prefer? And here we'll provide a Radiant button with an option 4010, 4010 VIX, or 5010, and we will not provide any default values at this time. Now we have the questions defined, and if we need to make movements around, we can always move the location of the questions. Now we need to provide some assignments to the survey. Who is going to be the individuals that will be completing this survey? As before, we can enter this information manually, one user at a time, which is going to be very consuming. Or we can identify that we want to add all the persons from the tax program. As you remember, just a few minutes ago, we added some people to the program, and this capability allows us to add all the individuals within the program to the questionnaire list. So I'll click add to all. And now we have all individuals and organizations have been added to the survey. And when the questionnaires have been completed, we'll be able to see the results here. Right now we have not, nobody has completed yet the survey, so there's nothing here available. So let's take a look at it. What will the suppliers see and how they can interact with this survey? We'll go ahead and log out from the system as administrator and go back and log in back as the supplier. Now we are here. We have see a survey that needs to be completed. So I'll click on the survey, and we have the questionnaire question set up here. Are you new to the DI? No, I'm not. I'm using Sterling Commerce as my van, and I'll prefer version 5010. Now I'm going to do the save. It shows that the survey has been completed, and it's marked as done. We can always hide this information by selecting show only active surveys. Now that we have completed the survey, we'll log in back to the site as the administrator of the portal, and we'll take a look again on the surveys page. We'll go back to the capabilities page, and now we see the results of what has been done so far. With one answer, there is very limited, of course, information, but as more answers are provided, we are able to see on overall status of the trading network and where everybody is overall. Okay. Next, we would like to take a look at tasks. Tasks are an important part of the Infoborders community management system, and there are different level of tasks that can be created and assigned. First, let's take a look at the general tasks that we can assign at the organization level. We'll go back community organization. We'll find a organization of interest. Open it up, and here we'll see a tab called tasks. We have seen already that a task has been created previously. Let's create a new task to see how it works. So I'm going to go and says add tasks. Look at second task. Actually, we'll call it review documentation in library. We can assign it to a specific individual within an organization. We can also identify who on the portal site will be responsible for these tasks for monitoring. Well, by not setting it, it means that anybody within the organization, with the portal administration, will be able to look at that. We define if it needs to be approval. We don't want to look into that right now. If there's any program that we want to associate this, can be done right now. We also define the category of this. So we'll call it review implementation guides. For some processes, we require a process. For this type of task, we don't. Processes are used when we do specifically testing and certification, and we want the supplier to comply with that process. We tell them whether the task has to be completed, and or whether there is no time limit for completing this task. We can also add some notes. For example, please review all documents in the library and be prepared for testing and certification. Oops. We will save the task. We can always go back now to take a look at what the supplier will be able to see by logging out from here. Logging as a supplier. And we can see that this review documentation task is provided here. We are not able to change any notes, but we are able to add any comments if we need it. Once we feel that this has been done and completed, we can click on the complete button and the task will consider to be done. Now this is a way for us to create tasks for individual supplier. There are ways, often we need to create tasks that will be reused multiple times across different suppliers. So let's go back and take a look at what we define as master tasks.